Hello everyone. Today we will do our fifth lesson in the Canva class. So in the previous lessons we created some designs like Instagram post for our school and a poster. Also we created some profile app and Instagram profile picture for me. And also we talk about the tools and some options in the Canva. So in this lesson we will do like we will learn some professional let's say presentation skills, and also we will do an example. So let's start quickly, and firstly I should share my screen with you. Okay, that's good. So we can continue. So let me create an presentation design, but before then I should. Okay, so let's create an presentation. So before start to make a presentation, I will talk about this. Uh, so you can see our first topic is clear objective. So every great presentation begins with a clear objective, we can say. And before I even open PowerPoint or Canva presentations, actually I ask myself one simple question, and you should ask too. What do I want my audience to remember when they leave the room, or when presentation is finished? If the goal isn't clear to me, it won't be clear to them either. So that's why I focus on one strong message, not 10 different ideas in a one presentation. In my presentation about EOS, for example, my goal is simple. Today, by the way, we will do an presentation about EOS. My goal is simple, uh, like to make people mm, realize how serious the problem is, and what small actions they can take to help, maybe. And so when your message is clear, everything else, the slides, the visuals, the tone, falls naturally into place, we can say, for the first topic. So you can see logical structure here. So a professional presentation, I think, should follow a logical flow, like just like a good story. We can give an example like this. And I always structure my talk into three main parts, like the introduction, where I capture attention, the body, where I develop my ideas, and the conclusion, where I leave a lasting message. Like, for instance, when I speak about US, I start by defining what it is, and then in the body part, I explain why it is a global problem, and finally, in the conclusion part, I offer some real solutions about this problem. These logical orders keeps like the audiences engaged, because they can easily follow my thoughts from start to finish, with also the visuals. So let's continue with the strong opening. In a presentation, first impressions so matter, especially in a presentation. That's why I always start with something that captures attention immediately. For example, when I begin my talk about e-waste, I ask, did you know that world produces over 50 million tons of electronic waste every single year? Or sometimes I tell a short story about how I found an old phone drawer full of useless devices and realized I was part of the problem too. So a strong opening wakes people up and makes them think about your problem. This is and they think that like this is something I should listen to. You should make them like this. By the way, okay, no problem. Let's continue. So our fourth topic is consistency in design. Design consistency is not just about aesthetics, or not just about perfection or prettiness. It's about trust and professionalism. When every slide looks clean, balanced, and unified, the audience feels more confident in your message, and they believe it. And I try to limit my presentation to main colors on and one or two simple fonts. For example, one simple font for the titles and one simple for font for the text. And I avoid unnecessary transitions and distracting animations. The goal is to make the message clear, not the show of design tricks. I mean, you don't have to show your design tricks or skills in your presentation. You should give the message to the audiences. So remember, good design supports your ideas. It never competes with them. So let's continue with visual support. A single image can often communicate more more powerfully than like yeah, paragraph of text. So in my presentations about US, I include photos of overflowing landfills filled with electronics. Uh, I will just a second. I have a notification again from Google Meet. Yes, we can continue. By the way, I actually uh, prep. I have a preparation for the presentation for the lesson. So after finish talk about these topics, we will create in a quick way our presentation. So let's continue. What was I talking about? Visual support time, I think. So as I say that a single image can often communicates more powerfully than a paragraph of text. And I use so many photos in my presentations because seeing that reality creates a stronger emotional impact than words alone, sorry, not world. And I also use infographics and icons to simplify complex data like showing recycling rates across continents. And the key is balance. Visuals should enhance understanding, not overlap them. And as the saying goes, show, don't just tell. Let's continue with time management. It is so important in a presentation. No matter how good your slides are, and no matter your body language, that's sorry. Sorry. Mm, just a second. Okay, the time management is so important because you should, for example, if you have 10 minutes of time, you should uh, you should divide them some parts. For example, for introduction parts, for body part, for inclusion, sorry, for conclusion part, for example. That's enough for I think the time management. So let's continue with confidence and body language. It's also so important because your body language tells the real story. I stand with confidence in my presentation, shoulders back, feet balanced on the floor, and eyes on the audiences. Because the eye contact is also so important. Because with the eyes content you show you have a confidence, and I move naturally, but never too much. You should have a value on it, and I use my hands to how can I say emphasize, if I'm not wrong, key points instead of distracting the viewers with so many moves. My tone, my voice tone changes to match the emotion in in some points. For example, calm during explanations, passionate when inspiring action. I have learned that even a small smile in your face can make your message more trustworthy and human. And people don't just listen your words; they feel your energy with your body language. So I can continue with the audience interaction. A presentation should never be a one-way speech. Like the more I involve my own audiences, the more alive the room becomes. For example, I might ask, how many of you have an old laptop or sitting in a drawer right now? When several hands go up in the salon, maybe I connect that simple action to the bigger issue of e-waste. Sometimes I even show a short quiz or a quick poll maybe to make people participate. So interactions turns listeners into collaborators, and that's when learning truly happens. That's the point. So let's continue with the effective conclusion. The conclusion is your final chance to make an impression on every single audience. Don't just say that's all in the end, so, to summarize your message and end with emotion. Uh, when I finish my, for example, EOS talk, I will say, EOS might seem like a global problem to be to solve, but every small action counts. If each of us recycles just one device, we take a step toward a cleaner planet for the future. Then I pause and let the message sink in. So a strong ending doesn't fade away. It stays with your audience long after the presentation ends. It will be every time in their minds. So let's continue with technical preparation. Um, Nothing ruins a good presentation faster than a technical failure. That's why I always arrive early, test the projector or check the sound or some things. What should I do? And make sure my videos play smoothly. My presentation have no issue. And I also keep a backup copy of my slides and on a USB drive or maybe my WhatsApp, just in case. When everything is ready, I can focus on connecting with my audience instead of worrying about what might go wrong in my presentation or with my device or something. So let's continue with practice and rehearsal. Uh, Practice actually doesn't make perfect, it makes confidence. I always rehearse my presentation several times, sometimes in front of a mirror, sometimes with friends, or sometimes just only me. So each time I noticed something new. A word could, a word that I could say better, a slide that needs to be simplified, a pause that adds power on it. Like by the final rehearsal, the words flow naturally and my nerves turn into energy. So remember, present preparation builds confidence on you, and confidence builds connection on the audiences between you and the audiences. So this is enough for this part presentation, but it's so long. It's 15 minutes. So let's continue with this presentation that we will design. So let's firstly we should select a theme, a template. For example, our topics today is US, so we can search in here US. But it should be like in a classic way or informal formal way because we shouldn't use so many colors on it. Because if you use so many colors on your presentation, it will be uh, so distracted. Hmm. Let let's look at this one. Actually, this one is okay. We have one, two, three, four, five, maybe colors, and it's not so much distracting. So I think this one is okay. So let's look at our title slide. The impact of US on our planet is our, let's say, title. Maybe we can write here US like this, and also write here our title. The impact of US on our planet like this, and it can be like this, or maybe we can make it just a little smaller. Maybe can be like this. Okay, this way is okay for now. Let's continue with the second. Uh, but just as a reminder, okay, we shouldn't use that much. But maybe hmm, we can use some other templates that little bit classic. Like maybe this one is okay. This title is so long, so maybe we can write here and write here only US. Maybe I think this is okay. So let's continue, but we should remove this page also. Yes. So let's continue with our presentation, our team. But we can add here maybe our contents, but I wouldn't. So let's change the. Maybe this one is okay. We can use this. So in slide 2, what is EU-West? Firstly, we should start with the topic. Uh, so this title is suitable for here. And we can make it like this and use this text just as in US and started. Okay, this is okay. For here like this. And we can also use I think a very skill app flat vector style illustration. Maybe we can search for this one in the internet. Let's search it. Hmm. Okay, actually this image is okay for me. Let's use this one. And also I think we can change this colors. Maybe it can be a little bit darker or here. Also we can change this to okay, but also this should be like this and this one should be like this, or maybe this one can be black. Okay, this I think color is okay. Maybe we can change them too, but we will continue. So let's continue with this slide. Again, it can be same, but let's look at our content for this page. Why it matters? Okay, this is okay for this. Why it matters? Especially I will look at the font size. Then let's use our text here. What is happening right now? I don't understand what's happening. So I will close this again. Why do just a second? I will close this page. So yes, we can again open it again. What's happened? I didn't understand what's happened. Okay, we can continue maybe. Let's select this page again and right here, not the one. Why it matters? Why it matters? Maybe we can use a question symbol like this, and then I put it on here. Maybe a little bit left. Okay, this is okay. Maybe we can. Okay, this page, this is okay. So let's edit this part also, and let's search for this also. Maybe this kind of can be okay for us. Let's use this one. Sorry. Just a second. Okay, let's take it again. Here, and we'll use this one. I think this is okay for here. We can also change the color. Maybe it can be in a different. We can make it different. Okay. Also, I will use this color, and also for here I will use this color. continue. Also, I will use the same state as the previous one. So visual no problem text say page. So let's we have also have a problem here. Why I don't know. Yes, it is called. We can use this page and also only can move this one and create one more here. So with more text on the slide, let the image spec I wrote here. A powerful photo of people working in US fires or children burning fires. Filters. So with reduction for emotional effect. Okay, let's use this kind of. Let's find that kind of photo and then we can use mm, powerful photo of people in US fires or children in US burning fires. Hmm. Maybe this image is okay for the to give the emotion here. But it should be mm, mm, maybe we can use another image also. With that kind of mm, let's remove this part and search it again. Maybe we can use this one also. These two ones they are okay for our design. So let's select this in color for this. Maybe it can be okay. We can change the text title color. Like this, and also I will decrease its size. What was our size for the title? 84.6. Okay, I edited it, but what was our title for this? Problem impact. Yes, we can write here problem impact. Okay, this is good. We can continue with the other slides. Sorry for the waiting part. I probably remove it from the recording, but okay, let's continue. What was we were doing? Yes, we this we did this slide and continue to fifth one, global numbers. Okay, in this slide, I will choose this one because we should add an so use we will take it from the net. So this text is okay for here. Also, what was our title for this global numbers? Okay, I will edit the font size. Maybe this font is okay. with nav action. Okay, let's search for this one also on the net, but I think we can't see our what we want. Not like this one. Icons of Canva building factory complete. Clean corporate layout with nav action. Hmm, what can we use for this? Okay, let's. I think we shouldn't. We don't need to use to this page. Visual only feature vision. Okay, we can use this one feature vision. But I think the conclusion for this, I think this page is okay to finish with it because it is so effective on let's say audiences. It can be, but it's about actually your also your speaking skills and body language. It's they are so important also. I think this page is okay for the finishing. We can also add conclusion, but I think this page is okay for the conclusion part. So maybe we can change this pages, but I think they are good. Maybe we can just add something like we can duplicate this one and move it to here and write it in the health effect we can add here, and that's enough. Health effects. Okay, maybe we can move it a little bit under, and this one is okay. The presentation is good, but um, let's add some maybe animations on it. Is this have animation any? No, so we can add something on them, but it should be like not so much. It should be balanced animations. So let's look at okay, let's look at the animations. It's simple. Okay, this one is so much. I think simple one is okay, but let's look at another general rise. Let's pen fade. I think fade is okay, or pen. I think pen is okay. Yes, I will try them again to make the true decisions. I think fade one is okay, maybe white, not white. Okay, fade one is okay. So let's. I think breadth is okay. Apply to all pages. We can use this option, or maybe we can make this like this. Okay, this is good and enough for the presentation. So in this lesson we have firstly we have talked about the presentation rules, then we have created an presentation for in a topic on a topic in following the rules. So that's enough for this lesson. Thanks you all of you for listening to me. Good evening for everyone.